Yo, speak low poetry, what light was. Today, it's two generations of writers that have used the stage to not just tell stories, but to expose the cracks in their worlds. We're talking the Romantics, Godwin, Shelley, Keats, Mary Shelley, and the Fitzgeralds, Scott and Zelda, two wildly different literary families separated by more than a century, but bound by a shared belief in the theater is a place for truth-telling. Satire, tragedy, gothic horror, musical comedy, it's all part of a deeper effort to dramatize collapse of empires, illusions, identities. Let's start late 1700s. William Godwin, radical philosopher, political reformer, father of Mary Shelley, one of the first to take the Enlightenment's ideals and push them onto the stage. In his play, The Iron Chest, adapted from his own novel Caleb Williams, tells the story of a servant who uncovers a dark secret locked in his master's cabinet. It's about secrecy, power, and the machinery of injustice. Though the play stumbled in its premiere, thanks in part to a rival actor's sabotage, it struck a nerve. Godwin believed theater could change minds, that the stage could make us question the systems that we live under. His other plays, Antonio, Faulkner, weren't crowd pleasers either, but they're part of the romantic trend, using drama not just for entertainment, but for intervention. No one embodied this more than Percy Bysshe Shelley. His play, The Cinci, a harrowing tale of incest, murder, revenge, was practically unstageable in its day, but it was meant to shock. Shelley wanted audiences to feel the weight of patriarchal power, to confront religious hypocrisy. In Prometheus Unbound, he reworked the Greek myth into a vision of moral revolution. No more vengeance, no more tyranny, just radical forgiveness and human liberation. Pretty heavy stuff for a theater crowd, but that was Shelley, always aiming for the sublime. John Keats also tried his hand at drama. You may know him for his odes to Autumn, Nightingale, and all that, but he co-wrote a play called Otho the Great and began another, King Stephen. Historical tragedies in the Shakespearean mode. These weren't just youthful experiments. They reveal Keats grappling with the spectacle of power, how history and myth shape who gets to rule and who gets erased. And then there's Mary Shelley. Though she didn't write a play herself, her novel Frankenstein became a theatrical sensation. 1823, Presumption or the Fate of Frankenstein hit the London stage with thunderclaps, lightning, and the immortal line, "It lives." It wasn't subtle, but it didn't need to be. The creature, rejected by its maker, became a symbol of modern alienation, a theme just as relevant today as it was then. Now, fast forward a century, enter Scott and Zelda Fitzgerald, the flappers, the dreamers, the disillusioned darlings of the jazz age. If the Romantics used myth and horror to critique power, the Fitzgeralds used satire, glittering surfaces to critique appearance itself. But here's what people forget. Before Gatsby, Scott Fitzgerald was already writing plays. In high school, he wrote The Captured Shadow, The Coward, and other melodramas full of romance and heroism. At Princeton, he joined the Triangle Club, churning out musical comedies like Fi-Fi, Fifi, playful, flirtatious, but already poking fun at social conventions. Then came The Vegetable, his only full-length Broadway play, subtitled From President to Postman. It's about a man who dreams of political greatness and ends up sorting mail. Audiences didn't get it, it flopped, but it was classic Fitzgerald. Ambition, illusion, failure, all in a single act. Zelda, meanwhile, wasn't just Scott's muse. She was a writer and a performer in her own right. She co-wrote The Girl the Prince Married, a fairy tale send-up of romantic fantasies. And in the 1930s, from a hospital room, she wrote Scandalabra, a surrealist farce mocking bourgeois morality, full of wordplay and absurdity. It was staged and is a dazzling relic of her imagination. Fierce, funny, and deeply feminist. So what links these two artistic families, the Romantics and the Fitzgeralds? Both were drawn to the stage not just as a performance space, but as a reckoning place. A place to unmask power, to test ideals, to reveal what's hiding behind the curtain. Godwin and Shelley dramatized revolution and tyranny. The Fitzgeralds staged the emptiness of success and the heartbreak of modern dreams. The monster in Frankenstein and the dreamer in Gatsby are both theatrical figures, born of ambition and abandoned by their creators. And in both eras, we're reminded of the same lesson, that performance isn't just something we watch, it's something we live. Every society writes its own script, and sometimes artists come along to tear it up. Frankenstein and The Great Gatsby were both made into early silent films, and both continue undaunted on stage. Both continue to unmask the rivalry between who we want to become and who we do become.